What's going on? My microphone's kind of in the wrong place. Anyway, welcome back, guys. It has been a little bit since I made a video. I haven't been making very many videos as of recently, but I want to talk about the Far Cry 5 new DLC, which is called Hours of Darkness. Now, from what I've heard, this does not last very long, and it's more like an hour or two of darkness, so from what I'm seeing so far, it's not a very long DLC, which doesn't really bother me. I am kind of upset that I got this game and I got it at launch, because I kind of just stopped playing the game like a little bit after the game released. I still haven't completed the main story campaign, which I probably should get around to doing that. At the moment, I really don't have the time though, and I kind of just lost interest in the game. But with this new DLC, I can say it's definitely been kind of fun, at least so far that I've played of it. I played the game for about an hour now, and one of the things that I can't really take out about this is the map. I really love the map in this game. Now, it's not as big as Far Cry 5's map, or pretty much any other big AAA Far Cry game that's going to release, or any other AAA open world game that's going to release, but it is a big enough map, and for a DLC that costs, what, 10, 15 bucks, something around that price point, I think it's fairly decent. Actually, it's a fairly decent sized map. This is how much I've explored the map so far. I've explored this much of the map, and I've played it for about an hour and 10 minutes or so. So honestly, it does seem like a big enough map, and that's something fairly good and something fairly decent that I can take away from the whole experience. Now, I will say I really love the way they've done this. I believe this is like a Vietnam War style of game. I'm not too sure if it's that. It's Vietnam, right? I think it's Vietnam. But if it is Vietnam, I think they do a really, really good job at making you feel as though you're in a war, and that's something really, really good. You are basically thrown in to what is essentially a massive battleground, and there is people, there's outposts and different things that you can't find, and it feels like you're actually in a war. What would be like if your ship crash landed, you got captured, you tried to run away and escape from the capture, and you were basically let off free in a war zone. And I think they do a very good job at that. Of course, I've never been in war myself. I don't know what that's like. I can't compare that to real life myself. But from what I would expect a war to feel like, I think they do a very good job at actually presenting that to me. Now, this DLC is all about stealth. It's stealth, 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 stealth. Seriously, if you do not use stealth in this DLC, you're probably gonna die. Now, you can use weapons and you can kind of go guns blazing a little bit at certain points. You will survive, you're not just gonna die just like that, but you do die fairly fast. I'm not too sure if it is any different from the standard base game, but I was noticing that you were dying extremely fast, so stealth is a big thing in there. It's not necessarily the stealth mechanics are that difficult. Like, the stealth in this game, like the actual AI, is kind of stupid. Not to mention the fact that I had a buddy with me. I found this guy, he started following me about. I'm gonna call this guy Joan. So Joan started following me about, and I went to take out this outpost. I wanted to go in stealthily and not be noticed, but what did Joan do? Yeah, Joan just decided to fucking tear a hole into their... But when you do play stealthily, you get like this bar that fills up, you get different abilities. It's kind of like perk points. It kind of reminds me of the perk points from Call of Ghosts, or I believe they're even in Modern Warfare 3. There is this like specialist thing in Call of Duty, where if you get, or you go on a certain amount of kill streak, this bar fills up and you get basically perks to run around with. I thought that was pretty cool. But if you do break out of that stealth mode, or you get detected, or you start firing or whatever, then you lose all those abilities, sadly. But it does like help you crouch around faster. You can see enemies through walls and different things within like 20 feet. Or 20 meters, I believe. It's a pretty cool system, and I think it actually works quite well, and it really does put a lot of focus on stealth. So people who do like stealth, personally, I'm not the biggest fan of it, but for those who do like it, you're probably going to find a lot to enjoy out of this DLC. But I just want to emphasize more the map. I really love the way the map looks in this game. I love the way it's just foresty, and there's like trees, there's grass, there's really cool looking waterfalls. And I actually tried to go down a zip line off this waterfall. Initially you actually jump down a waterfall, which was really cool, and I tried to go down the zip line, but like I always do in this game, I always accidentally hit A because it takes a little while for your character to jump up, and I think, oh well, maybe I didn't hit it properly the first time, and then I hit it again, then I fall, and I spent like 20 minutes trying to get back up there and actually try to get back to the zip line because I really wanted to go down it. It was a fair distance down, but unfortunately the water kept pushing me back. Like, geesh, water, what the fuck, yeah. But anyway, to wrap it all up here, to conclude, this is just a very short first impressions. As I said, I played for about an hour and 10 minutes, and I can say it's a fairly fun DLC so far. I will say actually one of the major downsides that I have with the game is sometimes you kind of get bombarded by enemies when this is supposed to be a stealth oriented game. When like 20 enemies surround you just randomly, you wipe out, just basically you wipe out an entire horde of them, then more just randomly come out of the middle of nowhere, and you have to fight off like an entire another horde, which can be very, very annoying. And kind of just takes away from the, I don't know, it takes me out of the experience, and it's just, there's something about it that just, it makes it a lot more unenjoyable when you're trying to get somewhere and you kind of get bombarded by a lot of people. It kind of reminds me of the planes from the original, like the actual story of Far Cry 5, the base game. It kind of reminds me of them things just come out of the middle of fucking nowhere and ruin your day. It's very annoying, but besides that, it's been pretty good so far, and I would say it's probably worth it. I will say that it's definitely better than I expected it. The map is big enough, and it seems pretty good. It does seem deep enough with a decent amount of content. Now, apparently there's supposed to be Vietnam era weapons. The weapons, though, are just pretty much the exact same from the base Far Cry game. The only one weapon that I've seen so far that is not in the base Far Cry game is the fucking bamboo stick, because, you know, why do we need an AK or an MP40 or whatever else? Is this a Dragunov when you've got a fucking bamboo stick? But yeah, anyway guys, that's pretty much gonna be it. And anyway guys, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, and yeah, I'll hopefully see you guys next one. Peace out.